Welcome to the day 2 of the 21-day mindful movement and mindful breath challenge. I'm really excited about this. I wanted to thank you all for everyone who wrote in with your requests for what you wanted to do for the 21 days. I'm so excited about how all of this is shaping up. I think it's going to be a really amazing 21 days, and I think we're going to feel really awesome by the end of it. So for today's session, what I want to do is pick up where we left off from day 1 with upper body. For this sequence, you can do it seated or standing. You could do it even a little bit standing and a little bit sitting, but having said that, you might want to go grab a chair. What I also want to start with today is the beginnings of some balancing. So if you're using the chair, you also will want a pillow. And if you're going to stand the whole time, the chair and the pillow are optional. And the other thing you need is a lightweight object that will not break if you drop it, because you might drop it. So go ahead and grab all that stuff and we'll get started. You can, again, be seated or standing for the opening. Very first thing I want to ask you before we get going into movement is a question about these 21 days. So what I want to ask you is, what do you want to feel by the end of the 21 days? Maybe take a moment and just think about that, and feel free to continue kind of chewing on that question as we get into our movement. What would you like to feel? What would you like to feel even by the end of this session? And so as you're situating yourself into either your comfortable standing posture or your comfortable seated posture, maybe take that question in for a little bit. What would be good? It might be a quality that you can name, like I'd really like to feel calm, or I'd really like to feel rejuvenated, or I'd really like to feel excited or hopeful. Whatever comes to you naturally. See if you can bring it down to 1 or 2 words, and you feel free to write them down or just remember them. And then let's take a bit of time to really arrive on our mat. You may take a little bit of time to bring yourself into a mindful state. However you do that, it might be connecting to your breath. It might be allowing the body to sway a little bit. For some of us, bringing awareness to the bottoms of the feet can be really helpful. Take a moment to allow yourself to connect in with this present moment. And as you continue to arrive on your mat, we're going to begin with our nose circles, just like we did with day 1. You can do these eyes open or closed, sitting or standing. And begin with your nose circles as small as you can. We'll go about 5 or 6 circles one way and then 5 or 6 the other way. Can you make your nose circles to be 5 millimeters in diameter? Can they be that small? And then we'll switch directions and go the other way again. And this time we're going to add in a spiral. So each time you do a circle, make it a little bit bigger the next round. So we're beginning with that 5 millimeter diameter circle. Can you increase and increase until your circle is about 5 or 6 inches in diameter? Go ahead and switch sides. It's starting tiny, getting bigger with each spiral. Really tracking here for a sense of motor control. Does your movement feels smooth all the way around your circle. Is there anywhere where it gets a bit choppy or jerky? That's just really important to notice. You don't have to do anything about it right now, but notice that. I'm going to demo a little bit of this seated. You're welcome to choose what works for you best. If you want to be sitting or standing, either way is great. When you're finished with your nose circles, we're going to do some movements that involve eye positions. So before we get into that, I just wanted to, one little cautionary thing is that the eye muscles are very fascially connected to the muscles at the base of the skull and very connected to a lot of the cranial nerves that are in that area, which is why we use eye positions therapeutically. But eye movements in yoga can sometimes bring up a bit of dizziness in some people. So I just wanted to name that. And if you happen to be one of those people that you involve a bit of eye movements and you feel some dizziness, really feel free to just leave the eye positions out and go with only the head movements and let your eyes be soft or neutral. So first one, actually, we're going to keep the eyes still and move the head. So we're going to look forward and turn the head to the right, keeping the eyes looking straight ahead. So this is the movement. So you're going to keep your eyes on one point, and then you're going to turn the head. Let's just do maybe 5 turns, keeping the eyes straight forward. You can do this on a very micro scale. Again, brings up dizziness, just turn the head. And if you want to turn the head only a centimeter at a time and just really feel that, that's still going to be really valuable. So don't feel like you have to go big movements here. You might track that there's one turn that's a lot more challenging, like one side is going to be a lot easier than the other side. It's really normal, but maybe take a little bit of time to notice that and see, is there a way that you can bite-size the movement, maybe slow it down or move a bit smaller until you really kind of master it. And then when it feels easy, you can increase. You can go a little bit quicker, you can go a little bit bigger once it feels easy for you. Maybe take a moment, close your eyes and just see. Check out how that was. And then for our next position, we're going to bring the arms up and begin bringing the arms from side to side. So you can just kind of grab alternating elbows, moving the arms in one direction. And then what we're going to do is start turning the head the opposite way. So nice and slow here, rotating the head to the left as you bring your arms to the right. For this one, if you want to bring in some eye positions, as you're bringing your arms to the right and turning your head to the left, you could also pause at a comfortable range and turn your eyes the other way, almost as if you're trying to look at your farthest elbow. And then you can switch. So as you bring your elbows over to the left, turning the head to the right, pause. Keep your head right, but turn your eyes left. And again, if any dizziness comes up, just let the eyes go. The arms get tired, you can shake them out. Feel free to hang out with that as long as you'd like. It's a really helpful pose for upper body tension, and you might want to hang out with it a little longer. So know that that's celebrated. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to grab our object and we're going to do some sideways figure eights with our arm. So you can do this seated or standing. I'm going to do a couple progressions here. So you're going to draw a sideways, an eight, a sleeping eight, an eight laying on its side. An infinity pattern. If you resonate more with that symbol, go with it. And go with 5 or 6 with each arm. Once you've done a few to each side, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the ball kind of floating in front of us, and then we're going to turn our head the other way. So if you have your ball in your right hand, you're going to keep the ball moving in its infinity shape, and you're going to turn your head to the left. And now here's where it gets really fun with the proprioceptive acuity, because you really can't see your ball now. You might see it just in one section, but for the most part, you have to feel where the arm is in space. So tracking that is really helpful for your nervous system. So let's go the other side. We'll go into our sideways figure 8 in the left hand, and we'll turn the head to the right. Again, if turning the head while doing this makes you dizzy, just feel free to keep the head forward. It's still helpful. You can always do this with the eyes closed. So if you want your head neutral and you still want to get that having to find the ball, you can close your eyes and just feel where your hand is in space, where the ball is in space. Where we could take this into an interesting challenge is to start to get ready to bring this into a balance. This is where it gets really fun. So if you're sitting and you have your pillow, what we want to do is place one foot on the pillow and the other foot on the floor. So this is going to give my body the introduction to the sense of this foot floating while this hand is working. So we'll have the pillow under the right or under the left foot and the ball in the right hand. And so really you can close your eyes here if you'd like, but to really feel into what it's like. How is it different? Especially if your pillow is quite stuffed and it feels like your foot is floating. And meanwhile, your other hand is drawing. So I'm just going to quickly demo for those of you who are choosing to stand and you want to kind of incorporate this into a bit of a balance. How that would look is we would have the left foot is going to come up into crane pose, and the right hand is going to draw those sideways figure 8s. And then we would do this a couple times and then switch. So opposite foot is floating to the one that's drawing the shape. If you're sitting, you can switch your pillow over to the other side. And know that any of these movements are totally optional. You can always just sit and visualize yourself doing this for a moment or two before you actually try doing it. That can be really helpful, actually. Okay, final step of the challenge. I'll demo this one, see it again. Is we're going to turn the head. So we'll have our pillow, let's say we have our pillow under the left foot, and or you're in your crane, left foot into crane, ball in the right hand. Begin drawing your pattern, and feel free to change that up. Like if you want to go the other way, it's actually challenging to go the other way. Or you can draw a different shape, like draw a spiral, draw the alphabet, and then you're going to turn your head and look the other way. So this involves our vestibular system, so it just kind of increases the challenge level a little bit on our ability to balance. So feel that out. So if I have my pillow under the left foot, ball in the right hand, I'm going to look to the left. See how that is. Maybe three shapes on each side. I'll demo it standing as well. You can see if you're well steeped in the myofascial yoga approach, you're probably already fairly used to crane pose, as opposed to do quite a bit in this school. So if you're quite comfortable with crane already, it can be fun to just add in those head turns. Just feel how that challenges your proprioception and challenges your balance a little bit. Okay. Wow, well done. I want to finish today's session with a little bit of bumblebee breathing. One of my absolute favorites. The movements that we did today can really be stimulating for the vagus nerve and have a real calming and centering effect on the body, on the nervous system. The bumblebee breath has a really similar effect because we're going to be humming, so it is going to vibrate in around the vagus nerve. So how this looks is we inhale normally, and then as we're exhaling, the whole exhale is going to be a hum. So it kind of sounds like this. We inhale and then exhale. So it can be quiet. You might want to hum a little louder and know that you'll just kind of know and go with what feels good. So we're going to inhale, exhale. A really nice way to kind of complete our practice today is to also include maybe a hand on the heart. It really helps you to connect with that vibration. So you inhale normally and exhale. Feel the way the vibration affects the body. You can switch hands after each time you finish a hum. You can switch to the other hand on the heart. Might as well do 8 bumblebee breaths, being that we've been on this theme of 8 today. 3 more. As you finish your last 2 rounds of bumblebee breath, bring back to mind your word. Maybe one more, or if you feel complete, just to rest now, drift a little bit in the effects. Taking a little bit of time to say your word to yourself again, and check that out. See if anything's different if you repeat your word. Feel any different now? Does it feel easier to absorb into your system? Does it reverberate through your body a little bit differently? And I'd love to invite you to keep working with your word for the rest of this day, and we'll see how it feels tomorrow when we do the challenge tomorrow. So I want to leave you with a little namaste. And I'm really wishing you a happy weekend and a wonderful rest of your day.